Boom. AOA podcast back for another episode. How is everybody doing? We have a lot to discuss, including Russell Brand, who is still in the news, still major happenings. Maybe the most disturbing thing so far, besides the accusations, happening in this story, and we'll share it with you. Spoiler alert, there is a blog that you can read all about this at anthonyonair.com, and you can see the evidence for yourself. Pretty big thing. Make sure you guys are checking out the website on a daily basis, anthonyonair.com. I know most people watch on YouTube or Facebook or Spotify or stream on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We appreciate that. Website is chock full of some great stuff. So make sure you're checking out the blog section specifically. And of course, we always put out our blogs as we do our podcasts on all our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, if you will. So you could always go there to see some of the content that we're putting out. That is not audio or video. This is the most disturbing, though. His base, his fans, real fired up over this. I think it's only going to swell even bigger. We'll get into it all, of course, coming up. Senator Bob Menendez indicted again. I think he might be the only sitting senator to get 2 indictments. I'm sure he did nothing wrong, though. Sure, it's all just fine. We'll talk about that. Plus, Danny Masterson's getting divorced. His wife, Bijou Phillips, filed yesterday. President Carter will die soon. And don't blame me for that harsh statement, because it's his own people that are going to be responsible for his death. I'll shed some light on that. One influencer is responsible for supposedly 150 births, and there is a doctor weight loss scandal that I think is going to be pretty huge, pretty huge. All that and more coming up on this episode. It was a family movie night at my children's school, and Cuddles brought a little whiny wine in the mommy coffee cup. So 50-50 on whether or not she's going to jump in and join us to co-host this episode. If she does not make it, it's you and I, which I always do love and enjoy. Sybil, Will, Raven, Robin, Rebecca. Geez, anybody watching that's not with a name doesn't start with an R? Marianne, there we go. Paul, hat on backwards. Look at these beautiful people. Welcome in, everybody in the live chat. Hello, replay crew. Let's dive into the day's stories. Russell Brand. A lot of this happened yesterday, but Russell Brand did break his silence today, and he put out a video on Rumble, and it was a reaction to what happened yesterday, which I labeled and blogged about, which, again, you could read at anthonyonair.com. Maybe the most disturbing thing about this whole case, besides the accusations, because obviously, if those turned out to be true, pretty disturbing. But here's the thing. And again, you could read this and you can see the letter itself on the Anthony on Air blog at anthonyonair.com. The the chair of the Culture, Media, and Sport Committee over there in the UK, member of government, wrote a letter to the social media network Rumble, which I consider myself quite the social media expert. Thank you very much. Never heard of Rumble. I don't know if it's a UK thing or a new thing or whatever it is. I know there's a couple like Discord. There's a few like not public but direct to fan social media sites, right? Like I guess you can consider OnlyFans that kind of a thing too, where you can post but nothing goes out publicly, so that thus tends to be scrutinized a lot less. But it goes out to people who just want to follow you. I know a lot of people work on this kind of social media. I'm assuming that's close to what Rumble is. Russell Brand has 1.4 million followers on Rumble. So this member of the UK government reached out, wrote a letter to the chief executive officer of Rumble, asking whether or not Russell Brand will be permitted to continue to make content and continue to monetize his content, or would he be subject to some sort of a suspension similar to the way that YouTube suspended Russell Brand from being able to monetize his channel? Now, I wrote a whole blog on this, so you can, go in and see all the details of what, my feelings are about it. But basically, Marianne, Matt, let me see here. Marianne says Rumble used to say some crazy stuff. Matt says Rumble primarily a streaming platform. Rumble is the real news, not fake, says Dr. Dex. All right, I got to get on board with Rumble. I was unaware of the Rumble situation. I will look into Rumble, I promise you. 1.4 million followers for Mr. Brand on Rumble. So it's obviously a good place for him. But what I said yesterday in the blog, and what I will just summarize very quickly here for you, is this is horrific and disturbing. And, maybe the worst thing a government official could do. On what planet is it a good idea for any sort of government to reach out to any sort of tech or streaming or media platform and say, hey, did you notice that YouTube demonetized this person? Why don't you guys do the same? I mean, what stupidity and crazy fuckery are we talking about here? We live in a country where freedom of speech is so important. We put it in the first 10 rules that we ever came up with, and I understand UK is a little bit of a different situation, but they're a free democracy as well. And in any democracy, you should be able to say whatever it is you'd like. And if you are accused of doing something horrible, you should be able to say whatever you'd like to defend yourself up and until including a trial in which a jury of your peers will make that decision on whether or not you did this or you didn't. That's the world that I would like to live in. That's the world that I was living in up until quite recently. And maybe not so quite recently, depending on who you talk to. But I thought it was really crazy that YouTube went and demonetized this channel. Kind of stupid. And I thought it was even more the height of stupidity. And again, a very, very dangerous precedent to set, to go out and go, oh, a group of people said this about this person. Why don't you act right now? Or to put any sort of pressure on a private company, media company, tech company to act is disgusting. And it should be illegal. This person should be facing charges in her own right, because this should not be done in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are, in my opinion, you may disagree, a few instances where we might alter our thought on this. If you're inciting violence, for instance, as our old pal President Trumpy Trumps he was towing into that line, stepping up to that line, crossing over that line, if that's your view. I'm not going to get into all that. I don't want to bring him into it. But he certainly did test the boundaries of what freedom of speech was. And if you're in a situation where somebody might be saying something online where they might be causing more harm to any particular group of people, then I believe a platform, as is in their terms of service, most of them, has a right to evaluate that situation and pull the plug on that channel or not. But in this particular case, you're not talking about a person who is a threat to anybody. You're talking about a person who is accused of doing horrific things to, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's 4 or 5 people. I can't remember. And if he did those things, he should be killed. He should be jailed. He should rot in hell forever. I strongly believe that. But it should be proven in a court of law at a jury of his peers where we can have a fair trial. Up until then, if he wants to defend himself, he should be able to say whatever he wants. And for any government to try and help silence him only makes things worse, because in this particular case, you have a guy who was making a living at this point, not acting. I think he was still doing stand-up, but he was making his big time living going, hey, don't trust the government. And now we have the friggin' government doing a prime example of why they shouldn't be trusted. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Just shut the fuck up. Just wait. Just wait. A government should do one thing and one thing only. Put every resource behind their Department of Justice or police force or whatever is going to conduct the investigation. Put anything you can behind them to help them do their job to either bring this guy to justice or prove his innocence. That is what you should be doing. And that is only what you should be doing. Not being like, hey, psst, psst, do you want to punish this guy who some people said did a bad thing? Now, listen, these people could be telling 100% the truth. This guy could be an awful piece of shit. And he deserves the worst if he is. But up and until we get a full investigation, right now, this is just a media story. Okay? It's their accusations, their allegations. When I talk about them, I have to say allegedly, or else Russell Brand could sue me. And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. And that should hold true. They are allegations. Once those allegations are, and he's proven guilty, become the crimes, then we could all roast that motherfucker on a spit, or a split, whatever you want to do. And I welcome that day. I'm not a fucking, but I could care less about Russell Brand. Did I like a couple of the movies he was in? Sure. But I'm not going to stand here and be like, I think he's a great guy. That's just not me. I could care less. He's fine up until he becomes a rapey raper. He's just another dude. I could give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Francois Tabor, beautiful name. 100% Ann. Thank you. Appreciate that support. But for government, like I always, here's my fault. This is where your old pal Ann goes wrong. I'd like the government to be good. Like some expectations. I'd like governments to rise above, be better than, try and do their job 100%. That's where I'm fucking up. That's where I'm going wrong. Too high of expectations, apparently. Why anybody would do this is fucking beyond me. Listen, I disagree with YouTube doing it, but at least YouTube did it on their own. I mean, from what we could tell, I don't know if they were, ushered into doing it. Which, by the way, the CEO of YouTube or CFO or somebody from YouTube was like, we did that to protect other creators. Bullshit. Because as a creator, I can tell you, we are all terrified of the very thing that you just did. Because I know I'm not going to get confused for that at all. But we come on here and say some crazy shit, and I'm not pointing fingers, but Janine is going to put us to the test one day. And I would expect that same protection under the First Amendment to be there and for us not to be penalized. For instance, I started this show by saying President Carter is going to die soon. All right, that's a lighthearted thing of a horrible kind of thing to say. But who knows what is going to be said that's going to put shit over the top? Do you know how many times during the Epstein days where we were just bringing real information that was reported or backed up by sources or anything like that, and we would be penalized for it because, the bots don't know if we're, being an Epstein or exposing an Epstein. They can't tell the difference. So they just demonetize and they push down our reach and they stop us from, how many times we would see like views go like this and then all of a sudden they go like this. It's like, well, what the fuck happened there? What happened there? And it's those little guides just step in and shoot us down. You can't have that happening. You can't have that happening. I mean, we fought a friggin' revolution to get out of that sort of behavior. And now, here we are in 2023, and we're still seeing some of this shit take place. It's fucking horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Now, if you think Russell Brand is innocent, great. Okay. I have no problem with you. If you think he absolutely did it, awesome. Great. I have no problem with you. Nobody's going to really know until real police get in there and investigate and find out the facts. And until then, if he wants to defend himself, he should absolutely be allowed to. Because here's why Dame Caroline Denningen is a big dummy face. Because now Russell Brand gets on Rumble today and he shares this on Instagram and all his other social media outlets. And he says, look at me. I'm being persecuted. I have the government coming after me now. They're trying to silence me. So now people out there that are like, we should listen to Russell. People out there from yesterday and in the past are listening to Russell Brand going, we should really listen to Russell Brand because he's talking about all these shitty things the government are doing. Now we have fucking flat out evidence that the government's doing a shitty thing to him. He goes on his platform and goes, they're doing a shitty thing to me. Please come and support me. Everybody's going to rush to support the guy. Now let's assume for the moment that he did do these things. This puts an air of doubt in anybody's mind that this was not him and it was a coordinated attack from big pharma, big media, and all this stuff. I would totally understand people going, this, we got to be careful and look at this. I see it in our comments. I'm looking at it in our live chat right now. And how could you deny it when you see some shit like this? So what I'm saying is, because dummy face Dame Caroline and her stupidity and government stupidity in general, because they can't help themselves from being fuck faces, now you potentially are putting yourself in a situation where so many people could be supporting this guy and the swell could become so huge. I'm saying you could have a fucking rapist getting off because they can't fucking help themselves. And this is what I talk about when I talk about my best pal in the whole world, Frankie C. It's the problem with some liberals is there's such a rush to this stuff. And it's not just liberals who do this, conservatives do it too, but there's such a rush to this stuff and they just got to right the world so quickly that they'll cut any corners that they need to make that happen, not realizing you're causing more damage than you know. And that's exactly what they've done here. Now, he had 1.4 million Rumble followers. I'd love to see what he comes out with after this week. I would love to see it because you had to see this motherfucker on the video today, man. You had to see him. He's like, they're coming after me. You know, we're seeing it now. Don't be silenced. He ended the video like, stay with me. And most of all, stay free. Like, all right, asshole. Like, not everybody, like people, like the Gestapo's out there, like, you know, marching down Main Street looking to fucking take away people's freedoms. Like, give me a break. It ain't that fucking drastic. It's dangerous. It ain't good what we're seeing here. You know, you let this shit go and it could be the beginning of something really bad, granted. But, you know, it ain't the end of the world that you got to be so fucking dramatic. What he's doing as an actor, a comedian, a truth seeker, is fucking riling up his crowd. And again, if he did do these things, this woman, that government, will be as much at fault for him getting off as anything else. Now, Matty O'Brien says that he's gained 800,000 followers this week on social media. That's from Matty O'Brien. I'd like to look that up and back it up, and we will. Can't do it right now, but we will. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Like, shit like this, like you see it with how Trump is treated, where he'll do something shitty. Any logical person could look at it and go, boy, that's shitty. And then the left has a shitty reaction to it. And then all of a sudden the right just piles in behind him to support him because it's like, fuck that. You're not going to take my guy down. And it becomes less about what happened and more about my side versus your side, which is ridiculous. It's fucking beyond ridiculous. All right, here's another thing I want to point out about the Russell Brand situation, which I also found tragic. Not hilarious, but what's the word I'm looking for? Is it Greek comedy, Greek tragedy? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here. But I come on last podcast. All right, we're talking about Russell Brand. I come on last podcast and I go, this is all crazy. The accusations are disturbing. He says he's innocent. All this stuff is going on. Here's what's really messing with my head. The age of consent in the UK is 16. and I go on a long tirade about how disgusting and horrible that is and what's wrong with the UK and we got to fix it. Since I did that rant, everybody in the comment section is going, oh, I live in West Virginia. Age of consent is 16 here too. Oh, I live in this state. Age of consent. I didn't realize that half of our own friggin' country's age of consent is also 16. So apologies to the UK. My apologies to the UK. You're not the only disturbed weird people on this planet. We are too. Because I'm here in New York and 18, I believe, is the age of consent. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going, I'm pointing fingers going, how could you be age 16? It can't, it's disgusting. And I go look at my comments and it's filled with people living in states in this country that are going on and on about how their age of consent is 16. I mean, what the hell? No age of consent should be 16. We have moved on from that. I understand there was a time where people were courting one another at 14, 15, and 16 and getting married at 18 and 19 and having 17 babies before the age of 28 because they had a farm to tend to. And, some of the babies were going to die. So just have a bunch of them so we can have a little farm army so our family can survive. That was fucking 200 years ago. It is time to update some shit. It is time to update some shit. 16 years old, age of consent. On what fucking planet? On what fucking planet? Cuddles, are you there?
I am here.
I might have told people you snuck in some wine in your coffee cup earlier at the beginning of the show.
I have been fucking drinking.
Yeah, it's hard. I felt like I shouldn't, but you know me. I like to be an open book. I like to be open and honest with everybody and tell them what the scenario is.
I don't give a shit. Did you tell them why I was drinking?
We were at our children's school movie night.
Yeah, which they should sell alcohol there. I understand that it's a school thing, but they would make a killing. Every parent would be buying a cocktail if they sold them.
That's true. No. That's true. Raven, I'd like to know what state you live in, if you don't mind. Raven says that age of consent where she is 14. I can't believe that.
Is she in like Alabama or Louisiana? Or Tennessee, Kentucky? Kentucky. Does she live in Kentucky? If she lives in Kentucky, I'm the winner.
I don't know, but I got to say you're probably close to it. Let's just put it this way. I doubt it's Maine.
I doubt
I don't think it's Vermont. Okay. Yeah, but it's just crazy. The amount of people that woke my ass up and were like, 16 where I live here in the States. And I was like, holy shit, we got to update some fucking laws. Look at Bird. It's 17 in Colorado. So we were able to legalize marijuana in Colorado first and couldn't get to that age of consent age, fix that up a little bit. I mean, it seems crazy. I've looked at some 17-year-olds. They're barely human beings. They're still so fucking stupid. There's no difference between a 17-year-old and a 17-month-old. There really is not that much of it. In fact, I would argue that a 17-year-old is far more dangerous to themselves and society because they take their act as a 17-month-old and put it in an automobile. And that's a problem for a lot of people.
Yep.
That is a problem for a lot of people. Raven says Canada. Well, Jesus, Lord, Mary.
Canada? Seriously?
That's heartbreaking. Is it 14 if you're frozen because you're too high, close to the North Pole?
What the fuck?
People like make the age of consent 14. Everybody's fucking freezing their balls off anyway. We're all inside. It's not that big of a deal. No one's going out. No one's going out to meet people. It's fucking cold over here.
Oh, I need more alcohol for this.
It's across Canada, not just New Brunswick. Yeah, we gotta find this out. We gotta fix a lot of these things. I mean, seriously, we got a lot of fixing to do. A lot of work to be done out there. But anyway, that's the latest on Russell Brand. So he's going to go out there. He's going to do his little fundraising. He's going to get these people to join his Rumble. And He says he's taking his show primarily there, and he's going to keep doing it. And by the way, boy, did he play the greatest hits. He's like, we're going to talk about Big Pharma. He's like, we're going to talk about the government. He's going in and out of all the shit. He's just firing up his base, man. He's just firing up his fan base. Everybody's behind him.
He took some lessons from Trump.
It is unbelievable, but Trump, whether intentionally or not, has really put together a crazy playbook on how to stir some shit up, do whatever the fuck you want, and how to defend yourself all the way through it. He really has. And it's easy to do because people just don't. We are at a height of people who do not trust governments, other people, media, nothing. And I say this all the time. It's heartbreaking to me, but I don't blame them because of this fucking letter that we just read out loud to you today. That's why I don't blame them. You see this shit blatantly happening, and it's fucking crazy. All right, I'm cursing too much, Cuddles. Let's move on to Senator. How you doing, by the way? You all right?
I'm good. I do have a question. Do you think Trump wakes up and he's like, who the fuck can I piss off today, and what the fuck can I do to piss them off?
I think
let's go. What the fuck can we fuck up today?
I think he spent most of his presidency doing that. Yeah, I think that's how his presidency was.
That's gotta be fun to some point. It's gotta be fun at some point. I
think he had a good time. I think he had a good time. I don't know about other people, but I think he had a good time.
Yeah, when you see people that don't like you and you just doing things to spite them and just be like, oh, take it to the face, like that, right?
I mean, we lived in a world for a little while there where the commander in chief would get up, take his iPhone to the shitter, take a dump, look around on Twitter, and go, "Who could I fuck with today?" And he would just put some shit out, and the media would lose it. Remember Kofifi? The media would just lose their mind, and he didn't give a shit. He wasn't going to correct it or anything. He was just like, "Fuck it, I don't care."
Yeah, he's the epitome of a shit stirrer.
Yeah,
when he's on the bowl.
Under here's got it. Just double down. That's basically that's the playbook.
That's
when
right.
you flip to page 1 and you go to page 100, it all says the same exact shit, which is exactly what under here just said. Just fucking double down. Whatever it is, just double down. Never backtrack, never apologize. Just fucking double down.
Yep.
It's like Vince Vaughn and Swingers when they go to the casino. You always double down on 11. You just double down. Just follow that philosophy, and you'll be just fine. Do you remember that scene, Cuddles?
No, but let's get on to the next topic because I'm not going to last long with all the alcohol I've had today.
John Favreau's like, but I lost. He's like, doesn't matter. You always double down.
Oh, John Favreau. I'm not going to go to Applebee's with you.
All right, Senator Bob Menendez. Congratulations to him. He becomes the first sitting senator to be indicted more than once, which is great. Congratulations. Thanks for helping us set new standards in our country. This is wonderful. He was indicted today, facing charges for taking gold bars and bribes and stashing hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash around his house in New Jersey. FBI raided his home, took photographs of gold bar. Now you're like, gold bars. This is crazy. It's going to be hard to prove. I'm looking at the photographs. They got pictures of gold bars. They got pictures of hundreds of thousands of dollars stashed away in envelopes. Now, what is a fucking senator doing with 500 grand in cash in his house?
He is like an old Italian woman. His money is in the mattress, underneath the mattress. That's where his money is. He don't trust no bank. It's underneath the mattress.
Yeah, after they found a few $100 grand in the envelopes, they went right to his pantry and started opening up soup cans just to see if it was rolled up.
Like your mother? Like your mother? Yeah, your mother warned me. She's like, never throw out anything until you try to open it, twist it, turn it, anything in this house.
That was a true conversation that I witnessed. My mother pulls D aside. We weren't even married at the time. Probably not even engaged.
No, we were engaged.
Were we?
We were engaged. Yes, because they've been there for 11 years and we were at least engaged. And she said to me, That's when that conversation happened.
She goes, listen, don't throw any jaws out without trying to unscrew. So there we were trying to get rid of 19-year-old jars of baked beans, but giving it the old, I'm just going to unscrew and they're going to be $6,000 in here.
The fake Campbell soup cover. That's what it is. It's the Campbell soup one. And she's like, never, always try to turn it. Always try, feel it, shake it, make sure, because there's money all over the house.
All right, now Eni says Anne probably has a stash somewhere. That is not true whatsoever. But listen,
no, I am in charge of the money.
If you ever do happen upon our house, stay away from the Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes. That's all I'm going to say. All right, leave it alone. Yeah. Don't ask any questions.
Because our daughter will attack you if you touch her Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. So this Bob, I mean, this guy is fucking. His wife got indicted too. FBI agents found the money stuffed in envelopes. All kinds of I mean, just all kinds. Now they're accusing him of getting people green cards and I don't even, just a ton of shit. Just a ton of shit. I can't even sit here and go over it. I'm so disgusted with all these fucking people.
He's from New Jersey. What do you expect?
That's true. That's true. This is the state that gave us Tony Soprano. So you can't be too surprised. You really can't. But I mean, honestly, when these politicians, either they're stealing or they can't remember where they put anything. There's just no in between anymore. You know, we don't have a capable person in that fucking Washington, D.C. So that's Bob Menendez. I hope they put that motherfucker in jail. I could care less. I'm getting tired of all these people. And listen, this may be the anger of having to sit in an open field, freezing my ass off, eating stale popcorn while 3,000 kids run around and I'm watching Minions. Maybe that's why I got a little more sass than usual, but what are you going to do? That's what it was. That's what it was.
I thought it was fun.
It was great. It was great.
Our children had a good time. That's all. That's what it's all about. It's about the kids. The world doesn't revolve around you.
No, it doesn't. Listen, I believe our children are the future. I've always said that since the 80s. Danny Masterson's getting divorced. Congratulations to him. I mean, there's nothing better than rolling into prison for the next 30 years of your life for rape. And then you're about to lose your family too. So it all works. Here's what I didn't realize, though. And this was just pointed out. Obviously, I mean, Bijou Phillips, beautiful actress, right?
Yep.
And she marries this guy, and he did all this horrible stuff before they were married, before they were together, I believe. They got a 9-year-old daughter, so it's tough. I get it. I understand why she's divorcing him, but I don't know if she's totally divorcing him because she wants nothing to do with him. I mean, he made a ton of money. He had, besides that 70s show, he was like a DJ who toured. He had like other shows. He did like all these real estate deals. So I think the guy's worth a pretty penny. And the problem becomes is now that he was convicted, he's open to civil suits.
Yep.
And they could take him for all he's worth. But if she divorces him, makes him pay for the divorce, pay for her lawyers, gets her 50%, does all that, she can get that money out and use it to raise her child. And those people who do wind up eventually suing him, who will win, they can't get it. So kind of a strategic thing here. But
yeah.
You know, I don't blame her. She didn't do it. She just married a shithead. It happens. Ass cuddles.
Yep.
I will say we're different types of shitheads. Mine's more of a silly nature, but shitheads nonetheless. So, you know, I get what she's doing here, but I would have liked it more if she was like, fuck that guy. I'm divorcing him.
Fuck that hoe.
That's right.
He's a twat waffle.
He is a twat waffle. Dynamite drop in cuddles. Way to go. President Carter will be dead soon. Now, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And does it break my heart? It does. But he will be dead soon. Here's my example. Pop on to Twitter to see what's trending in the world. It's President Carter. I go, uh-oh, President Carter's dead. Click on it. Go to find out. Not dead yet, but he will be. He turns 99 on October 1st, which by my count is just
Damn.
over a week away. Do you remember the last time we did this?
No.
Young lady by the name of Betty White. And everybody got all excited about Betty White's upcoming birthday. And Betty White's going to be 100. And let's wish Betty White a happy birthday. And let's do this for Betty White. Let's do that for Betty White. And what happened? Boom, drops dead before her birthday comes. So now they're out there trying to rouse everybody into sending President Carter a happy birthday message. So that's why he's trending so hard, because all these big people they're recording their messages. They're jinxing this guy. He's going to be dead before we get to it.
Very true. Poor man.
I stand by this. President Carter will be dead soon. Not my fault. You can blame the fine folks over at the Carter Center, because I believe by doing this, they have killed that man.
Well, only time will tell.
Yeah. Well, we're going to cut this as a promo and put it out, especially if he does wind up dying in the next couple of days. And if we don't, we'll just shelf this episode and nobody will ever see it again. So
yeah, win-win. That's a win-win situation.
It kind of is. Cuddles, there's an influencer out there who put a challenge out to people, mostly women. And she said, here's a challenge, ladies. Why don't you, this was a sex challenge. Why don't you have sex with your man for the next 7 days? 7 days straight. Actively pursue your husband sexually. Try to have sex every day or at least 4 to 5 days. So she put this challenge out. Let me see. In January of 2021.
Okay. Why?
Since then, I don't know. People say crazy shit on the internet. Remember what I did 4 minutes ago?
No.
Since then, she claims 150 people have sent her evidence that they are now pregnant because of her challenge. So she is saying that she is responsible for 150 births, all because she got on Instagram one day and went, I have an idea. Let's all fuck our husbands for the next 7 days.
How is that? Does she understand the female, fertility cycle?
I don't know. But I feel like there's 150 couples out there that should sue this son of a bitch for child
Yeah, I'd
support.
fucking be like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. I know you and I would definitely file a lawsuit, be like, this idiot told us to do it. Now look, now we got this problem for the next 18 years.
Listen, you don't have that problem. I don't have a uterus.
Well, yeah, we got lucky. Robin, great minds think alike. She owes child support. See? That's a funny joke. Now I know that's a funny joke because Robin said it too.
Yep. She owns child support. I got it. That's true.
Was this during the COVID lockdown?
Who are these fucking people listening? Are we that stupid that we listen and do these things and we don't understand that this could happen?
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree because you and I, everybody is guilty of seeing something on the internet and going, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." No. Especially, I'm sorry, hold on. Especially if it's followed by the word challenge. I don't know what it is about the human psyche, but there's something about you can say and do whatever on the internet. And then if you follow it with challenge, people are going to be like, what?
No.
It's like a dog who perks up when you say, you want to go for a walk? And they're like, did you say walk? Did you say, that's how we respond to challenge. Like a dog responds to the word walk or treat.
Listen to me. Do you know what I've been saying lately? Forget about pandemic. There's an epidemic of stupid fucking people in this world. And this is what we need to be worried about. Because these people are making decisions in life that they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Agree. And now there's 150 more stupid people coming in because of dumb Sarah Buckley in Las Vegas.
Fucking. Could you imagine the offspring that's going to be born soon? Oh, God.
I'm worried.
Those poor kids.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think we've had any great offspring in the last 10 years. Not one.
No. You know our kids are 8 and 6, right? There's been no good offspring in 10 years, so you're calling our kids dog shit.
Oh, I know. That wasn't a mistake.
Oh, okay. I'm happy to hear that. They take after you, by the way, because I'm fucking awesome.
All right, last topic of the episode here. I feel like I'm turning into Russell Brand. Sans the allegations. I've gotten caught up in this Ozempic thing. Now,
Why?
you know me, because I started hearing some creepy shit, and I feel like it's getting worse and worse. And now, like, a lot of people are on it. They say like record numbers of people are going to this Ozempic. Listen to this. According to a new report, there's a test that comes out for doctors where they could, apply to be a certain type of. So if you're a general medicine, right, and you want to go into a specialty, you got to take a test to get into that, right?
Yeah.
So to get certified, all that kind of shit, right? All those laws in whatever state you're in, right? So they're saying that nearly 1,900 doctors have applied for the annual exam coming up in October so that they can specialize in obesity. And they're saying this because they're estimating that each doctor can make up to $700,000 in a year for writing scripts to obese patients for some of these weight loss drugs.
Yes. But again, aren't like 50% of Americans obese? It is a huge, huge thing, like obesity. It is
Yes.
huge. Like, it is. But they do make a lot of money from pharmaceutical companies based off the prescriptions that they're writing.
Yes, and some people will argue, well, this is a free market and you could choose whatever you want to do. And yeah, there's nothing illegal happening here. It's all great. But you can't tell me it sits well with anybody that these doctors, who I believe in, that I believe that they're here to help us, so they're going to do the best they can, or at least the majority of them do. Maybe not every last one of them. They're looking at this and going, I can make a shit ton of money if I go over here and start doing this. Because I mean, what are they going to do? Like these 1,900 doctors that are already doctors who have made the choice to go this October, take this thing to become obesity specialists. What are they going to do when somebody comes in and is like, maybe needs it, maybe doesn't need it? They're going to be like, all right, there you go. Like a lot of people are going to get this Ozempic that don't need it or that it can possibly harm them.
There's a lot of other. It's, Ozempic, Mounjaro.
It just feels dirty to me that they're like, oh, we can make a lot more money over here, than what we're currently doing right now. So let's just go over there and do it. And then like, what's the,
what the fuck? Why do you think anesthesiologists go into it? They like that. Anesthesiologists and neurosurgeons are like the fucking highest paid doctors.
I know that, but at least they're doing something that's a necessity for people. I mean, you could really argue that this Ozempic and Mounjaro and all this shit, not exactly a necessity. I mean, it can be in certain cases. I understand that. But for the most part, a lot of people can gather the same results, but a lot slower by doing it the natural way.
Some people really can't. They really cannot lose it. They have other issues that a medication just won't do it, and these work for them. And that's fine. And there are people that take it for medical reasons and not weight loss reasons.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Big time for diabetes. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. But I'm not saying the drugs aren't legitimate and could be helpful. They are. But when I see it's a gold rush.
Yeah.
It's a gold rush where it's like, oh, here's the opportunity. Let's just go there. And what's going to be the result? All these people are just going to be writing scripts no matter what, because fuck it. That's where the money is. You know, I honestly feel, I swear to you, I feel it in the bottom of my heart. In 15 years, this is going to be the big lawsuit thing. This is going to be the thing that everybody was like, holy shit, we thought this was fine. And now after all this time and all these people who are on it, we've got big lawsuits and big fucking problems.
Yeah, but that could be for anything. That could be for any medication.
It can be. But if there's one thing that I've learned in this life is there's no miracle drugs.
Oh, yeah. No.
There's just not. You know, and the thing is, where you hope to get some of them, we haven't gotten even close, like cancer and all this kind of shit. I mean, they did some great stuff with their AIDS medicines and medications, which I guess that's kind of a miracle in our time. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, what other podcast can you get such cutting edge opinions and also sneezing? I just don't know another one.
Nowhere else.
I've never seen Joe Rogan sneeze. I mean, let's be honest with each other. Why doesn't that fucking guy sneeze? Is he a robot or something? Is he part of the government? I don't know. Normal people sneeze. I've never seen Joe Rogan sneeze once. This podcast, you get sneezing. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that before we get in trouble.
Okay.
All right. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good. I've had enough alcohol. I'm feeling it. And then I had another slice of pizza.
Deborah, thank you, Ann, for standing up for free speech. They are trying to silence him. I'm assuming she's talking about Russell Brand, and you're welcome. I mean, we might be the last bastion for free speech here, Cuddles. Let me say that more correctly. We might be the last bastion for free speech that collectively together as a podcast hasn't been accused of rape. So
exactly. I have never.
That also sneezes. So, I mean, really, we're
batting 1,000.
We're leaders. We're leaders is what we are.
We're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the sneezing that I think is going to take us higher. Thank you, Eenie, for the bless you. Thank you, Robin, for the Seinfeldian bless you. I appreciate that wholeheartedly. Paul says Ant's been snorting Ozempic. I wish. Somebody probably is. Somebody's probably getting that Ozempic. Sharon Loves Pizza says fart on air. Cuddles, would you like to gas one on the air?
No, I'm pretty good, thank you. I'm good, thanks.
We should tell our kids, go, is farting called fluffing? And we're like, no. They're like, are you sure? And I'm like, we're fucking positive. Nobody calls farting fluffing.
Do you know who does?
And then it turns, we're watching one of their stupid shows one day. What is it?
Fucking Bluey.
Yeah, this show Bluey. It's about a mom, dad, a dog dad.
And their kids, and they're fucking Australian with these accents. And goddamn it, it's going to drive me to fucking hell.
All right, easy. Oceani's going to watch this. We don't want to insult her.
Listen, Oceani, I don't know if you've ever watched the show. Watch it, and you're going to be like, what the fuck? Seriously.
Maybe we should employ Oceania to fucking take out the creators so we don't have to deal with this shit no more.
Yeah. You should be insulted because they make the father look like an idiot
the father looks like a big dope. Big dope. I don't like it at all. But I could tell what they did on Bluey that day because my kids, they're always like, oh, let's play this. And I'm like, oh, where did this come? Anyway, we go and they got an episode on, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the mom farts, and they go, oh, mom fluffed. Mom did a fluffy. And I'm like, this is where they're fucking getting it from. Who decided to call a fart a fluffy? That's such a weird thing to do. Under here. That's my man right there. Goddamn Bluey. You're right.
Right?
Bluey.
Oh, God.
Fucking driving me crazy. All right, Cuddles, we're off. We got a nor'easter coming to the area. We're going to Philadelphia for the weekend.
Oh, God, I don't want to go.
Exciting times ahead. We're doing the worst thing that my wife doesn't want to do. Go to a baseball game, travel far distances, and be outdoors in cold, rainy weather. I
am not built for that. I am not built for waterproof pants, and I'm just not. I am. Call me bougie, whatever you. I'd rather stay at home, have a fucking Doritos, watch some movies, have some wine. I don't want to go in the rain. I don't care. And I don't want to wear what is it you asked me to stop at Target to see if they had?
Ponchos.
I'm not wearing a poncho. I wear hookah sneakers. I'm not wearing a fucking plastic poncho on me, okay?
Ponchos
Not
are great. They
happening.
keep the heat in. They keep you dry. They're very. All right, hold
I'm
on.
not wearing them.
Raven's got a great point here. Fluffing is a porn term. She's right about that.
Right?
She's
Isn't that someone who like gets the guy ready?
yes. Yeah, that's a fluffer.
Right?
Yeah. So to call farts a fluffy is kind of fucked up. I don't know what they're doing over there at Bluey. I think they're snorting Ozempic. I mean they're snorting something because that fucking
Something.
show is out of control. It is out of control.
I want to go to Canada. I don't know why. I just want to go to Canada again.
Because everybody's nicer up there. That's why. Sybil, I agree,
Hey.
Cuddles. I like my clean white linens and my French cologne.
That's right, Sybil.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you were fine with the Philadelphia trip until the nor'easter.
Until the
part.
rain. Yeah, until the nor'easter. I don't like heat. I don't like. I could take the cold. I don't mind the cold. I have jackets. I don't do fucking rain because if my feet get wet, I'm gonna be the most miserable bitch. You are gonna be really sorry tomorrow. So just know that. Just know now I will be extra cunty. So just know that tomorrow is gonna be a really bad day for you. So
Johanna, why doesn't Cuddles go on camera? She is a facial deformity. That's horrific.
I do not. I do not, but I just don't want to. That's why.
Well, this is an old story because back in the EHM radio days,
yes,
some people got a little creepy and inappropriate with the family. And so now we keep the family, like, I don't know if people have noticed this, but you don't really see pictures of my kids anywhere or anything like that. Just
and you don't know any of our names. And that's because some people out there, you know, I have to protect my children. And that's why.
Yeah, 99% of everybody was great, but there was a couple of instances of some weird shit. So we had to like.
Yeah, you know, people taking pictures of my children. Like, do you want me to, like, beat you?
Paul,
Just
you gotta wrap Cuddles in designer sheets. Yeah, tell me about it.
You too. See, Paul? See?
Paul, you should see my bills. I'm well aware of what the princess needs over here.
Happy wife, happy life. Okay?
Yeah.
That just keep saying that to yourself. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Cuddles, that's it. We've got to go. Philadelphia awaits, the city of brotherly love and cheesesteaks. I'm excited about the cheese. How many cheesesteaks do you think we could put down in a...
One, Anthony, one.
In a weekend.
One.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I could do 6. I think I could break some records here.
You're disgusting.
Break some cholesterol records. Finally get that heart attack we've been striving for all these years.
Is your life insurance policy paid up?
All right, everybody. Love all the comments. Appreciate that. Make sure you like and share the video on YouTube, Facebook. Always helps with the algo. That's short for algorithm. That's what the kids on TikTok say, Cuddles. Very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
I'm not as cool as them.
Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube or Spotify, and you can become a member. Link in the description below. For as low as $2.99, you can support the podcast here. That is it for us. We'll catch you guys back here on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. If you're in the Northeast, stay dry and stay safe.
See you later.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.